This is RadioFire.com. Yours truly, Don McKay, in here. Thank you for joining me. Of course, we're broadcasting from the Radio and Fire studios here in Baltimore, Maryland. Wow. Soulja Boy. You know, Soulja Boy, does he deserve credit, more credit, or is he just delusional? Or is it a little bit of both? Soulja Boy had a very entertaining interview on The Breakfast Club, and he talked about a whole gang of stuff. Mainly, the fact that what really sticks out to me is that Charlemagne frequently tries to set people up, try to get them to go out on a limb and talk crazy and say crazy stuff. And sometimes Soulja Boy fell for it. Sometimes he did not. And there has been this thing going on the internet where people were questioning whether or not Soulja Boy was on powder or was just, on hard drugs. Of course, he claims that he's never done any hard drugs, but it was very entertaining watching the back and forth between Soulja Boy and the gang on The Breakfast Club. So did he have the biggest comeback of 2018? We're going to talk about that. He mentioned somebody in social media times, Cat Stacks is somebody from, a couple, probably 10 years ago. But he said that Cat Stacks, he had crushed up some aspirin or some type of headache medicine, and she acted like it was coke. A very strange thing to do. So we're just going to scoot on past that. The biggest comeback of the year. In order to have the biggest comeback of the year, if you are a football player, and let's say you were injured all of 2017, and you come back in 2018, you're a football player, and when you come back, you have, if you are a quarterback, you have all of these touchdowns, passes, your team's winning, like your stats are through the roof. People would say you had a good comeback because you're a football player, right? But I mean, and I guess that there are gray lines here. If the same football player comes back and he was injured and he comes back in football and his football career was mediocre, stats weren't that good compared to what he was before he was injured, but he puts out a rap album, this football player, and the rap album is popular and people are talking about him. But they're not talking about him for football. They're talking about him for rapping. Could he say that he had the biggest comeback of the year? Quite possibly, but not in his chosen profession. This is what confuses me about Soulja Boy and his claims of having the biggest comeback of the year. He did some things in the year that he mentioned. He got popularity or notoriety from the Chris Brown debacle. And he's subscribing to the philosophy that all publicity is good publicity. And all the different things that Soulja Boy was involved in, for the most part, they weren't centered around music. So that's where a lot of people are confused, because we're talking about the comeback of a rap artist. And so he wants to talk about different things. So, we put this out there to ask people, did Soulja Boy have the biggest comeback? It sounds almost funny when I'm asking it. The biggest comeback of 2018. And I don't know about that. We're gonna come back to that. The Chris Brown beef was hilarious. I haven't really heard Chris Brown speak on this subject other than when the fight was supposed to happen. Migos, we knew that there was some back and forth about something. A lot of things always surrounding girls, women, no problem. It happens. The Kanye West thing. The Kanye West stuff that he said, I can't disagree with nothing he said. He was on point. Calling Kanye West out. You got to check it out in the Breakfast Club interview. I like to hear people tell Kanye West what it really is. Now, is Kanye West going to respond to Soulja Boy? No time soon. Kanye West does his stuff. He'll come back 3 or 4 months from now. He's probably oblivious to what's going on. But does Soulja Boy deserve more credit? Soulja Boy, to me, gets a lot of credit as far as the internet goes, as far as ringtones go, as far as the whole using of social media, YouTube, and all of this different stuff. Soulja Boy is one of the pioneers that knew how to do it with hip-hop and still has been able to keep himself, he's been able to keep himself out there, right? He's definitely been able to keep himself out there. I'll give him that. Now, this interview was cocky. I like cocky. This interview was very cocky. He made some bold claims on here. Some of the claims that he made, I don't know. Whenever I've heard him talk about the robbery that happened in Atlanta, it's always extra. And this was very, very animated. But you got to give credit where credit is due. Soulja Boy, as far as the dance and that whole thing, he was one of the early guys on that. Now he's claiming California, says he's from California. I guess it ain't where you from, is where you at. That might be it. But Soulja Boy, for the last several years, maybe 12 years, has been able to maintain his online presence, and he has social media going crazy. He flipped out in this interview. This is one of the most entertaining interviews I have seen in quite some time. Now, is Soulja Boy a genius, or is he just lying? And he's just really loud and lying. I don't know. But Soulja Boy, as far as the music, I want to see him get back to the music and make some hot records. He talked about collaborating with a lot of up-and-coming artists and how he was one of the first to do that. As far as the stuff that he said, there are a lot of claims that he made that are just not true. Okay, he didn't have the biggest comeback of the year, but he did manage to keep himself out there, and that is bigger than anything. That managing to keep yourself out there and keeping that presence going, that can be bigger sometimes than actually having a hit record. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section. Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, @The Diamond K Show, @Radio on Fire.